Right, here we go. This is the SAZ Speed Race. It's on the Ocean Lava Cliffside Coastal Route, which is pretty fast and furious. Top right, 12 miles. We've got a combination of A, B, C, and D riders. You can already see I'm off the front. The A riders have gone off. Look at the top right graphic, the yellows. I think there's about, I want to say, 79 riders, 80 riders in this, and I think there's about 31, 32 in the B category. And this ride was set up and it said fast throughout. I jumped into the B category. You could pretty much go into any category from the start. It wasn't too strict in that respect. I'm right in the middle, you can see here, but look at the average, already 330, and I'm not at the front. I've been dropped by some of the A riders already. I'm kind of in the second main pack, I want to say. I'm just closing in here. There's a little bit of a climb here. 12 miles, just over 12 miles, 545 feet. It's fast and furious. What I didn't realise is how fast and furious this is. I'm thinking, oh, I can just settle in with a B group, and I'm going to, on the confidence of getting podium last week, I'm going to cruise to a potential top 5 in the B category. As you can see here, I'm right at the front of the second pack. Well, there's 2 riders gone off there. They've really gone strong. Third, 79 riders. There's no point me doing that. I'm over 300 watts average already. 0.67 miles done. This was fast and furious. And you can tell because when you sit in here, so I've 95% draft there, I'm still doing above 250 watts. Or I was for a second. And you'll see throughout this race, look, I'm doing 277 watts, 290 watts in the draft, almost 300 watts. Now this, obviously I know there's some A riders. I can't remember how many A riders in here. There's one in front of me, but there's a C rider in front of me there. Big respect. But I'm right in this pack, and they're still pushing, a mile gone. And I wasn't expecting this because I'm used to the fresh outer races where you can have large parts of the flat in between the climbs, or most of them, and you're tootling along at, well, my equivalent to 200, 220 watts. You're having a break on the flats, basically. This wasn't the case here. You can see, top right graphic's a huge climb. I've been doing really well on the climbs, so I wanted to stick in there. We've got a big bubble of people here, so a real opportunity to draft. But as I said, look, 1.5 miles, I'm still over 280 watts average, well over my FTP. And we're about to go on a little descent as well. So my aim was to hang in, try my very best to stay on this, going over the peak on that climb. Now you can see there's quite a steep ascent, and then there's a gradual ascent, and I want to say that's probably almost a mile long potentially. That looks nasty. If that's a mile at 2 or 3%, that's going to be difficult, and that's just going to break this pack in half and really split the A's and the B's. But I've come in as a confident B rider, and what I want to say here is this just brought me back to earth, brought me back to terra firma. I'll be honest, and all the confidence I got, I'm having to put it out here. We're 1.7 miles in, and you can see I'm gulping there, thinking, what is going on here? 276 average, just over 10 miles to go. This is going to be a real tough race. This was a bit of a shock to the system. I'd had some food, got the nutrition. You can see there's only one power up as well, which you've got to say, for the drafting power up, you've got to use right at the end. And right at the end is a shallow, very shallow ascent to the finish. But it's pretty flat, this, apart from that climb 2/3 in. Now that ordinarily, as I've said, and I'll repeat, that wouldn't be a problem because everyone would be cruising at this stage and waiting for the climb. But these A riders, and I've got to say top B riders, these are the stronger B riders. I don't know where they've been in the on those outer series, but there's even some C riders in this pack. Again, fair play. This just, I just wasn't expecting it. 264 average, and I've been in this bubble for perhaps 2 or 3 minutes now. But you see, look, having to put 320 watts to stay on the wheel here. 9.5 to go. No use for power-ups. See, I'm gritting my teeth there. This wasn't easy. Shock to the system. And I've got to say, I don't know why. I'd never heard of this race before. But it did say exactly what it was going to do on the tin. And it said it's going to be a fast race from the start. But I've heard that before, and it's not really gone off this fast. So here we go. We're going to come up to a little climb here. And I'm going to have to be at the front of this. Then there's a descent, and then we've got this big test. I've been climbing very well the last couple of weeks. In fact, that's been what's been getting me to the front of the pack, going over the climbs and increasing my ZRS. This isn't a ZRS race, this SAS Speed Race. So it won't count or discount any ZRS points on this. But I haven't raced for 3 days, and I've got a lot of Christmas food in me. I was thinking that was a nice break, but this was a bit of a shock to the system. Here we start off just over 3% on the yellows. Unless necessary, I won't be standing up until the orange. However, I had a gutting thought that I might need to stand up, especially with these A racers pushing on this climb. You see I'm doing well over 300 watts. 347, 350. I wouldn't usually be doing that much. Look, I'm having to stand up because they're pulling over this crest, and I need to be with that pack going over the crest. I can't get dropped. I'm in a great position from a drafting perspective, 8.5 miles to go, but look, they're just pulling away again. Some have used their power up there. I can't be using it at this stage, blimey. Orange here, so stand up and the pedals get right into the centre of that blob. Very well placed here, but it's taking a lot of energy early on. We haven't even got to this big climb. This is just a bit of a teaser, a bit of a taster. It's only 1.3%, and I'm having to push 300. Such is the pace of this. Now you can see on the right, there's 5 B riders and an A rider in the front pack here. We've dropped 2, a C and a D there, a blue and a yellow, gone off the back. Green denotes the B, C's the blue, and A riders are the red dots. Bit of a descent now, so in a good position here. 268 average, 8.1 miles to go, just over 9 minutes completed. Nearly 4 miles done, 122 feet. So I'm reckoning there's a 200 feet, 250 plus on this climb coming up. Well positioned, playing it very well with a draft. For the first 10 minutes I'm just slightly below FTP to be accurate. and this will drop now for in the next minute or so while we just go down this descent. The fact that I'm at the front, I think everybody else is feeling perhaps the same, but we're going to see who wants it now going up this climb in a minute. I should be just dropping back into that bubble to get the full effect of the draft. There you go, pretty well placed there. Two sea cats right at the front. Fair play. Very strong. I think it said the A-cats would be at 4 to 5 watts a kilo on average for the race. 7.2 miles to go. Almost 11 minutes, 4.7 miles, right in the draft here. I think there's some comedy comments about a sea rider that's just gone flying off into the distance. A few sarcastic comments there. It's coming across the boardwalk here. Five miles completed, 6.9 to go. The anticipation's building around the corner here. See, everyone's really stuck together. Everybody's trying to draft. What is going to happen here? I was confident, but I'd burnt a few matches at the start. And I was not really. Well, I was anticipating what is going to happen here. The strength of some of these riders. As I said earlier, I think we've got some strong B riders here who'll be finishing on averaging, I'm guessing 3.8 watts a kilo perhaps. That sort of level of B rider. Almost 4 watts a kilo. Don't expect to beat the A riders. I'm at the front of the pack here, as you can see, top graphic, almost straight into the dark orange. And then this is going to go on for a while. And then we're going to have a yellow long stretch. So this is going to be tough. Let's see what everybody else does. Gritting my teeth there. Need to be in the right gear. 13th and stood up probably feels a bit about right. I'm having to do 400 watts here. That's keeping me in the pipe, but I can't continue to do that. That's just too much for me. These B riders, are they going to last doing the same thing? I might be able to sit down. This is going to be a tough transition now onto the lighter orange, because I've burnt a few matches there. You can see them pulling away with such... I'm standing up and still struggling here. See, I've lost a bit of power there. I'm down to 350, which is the normal rate of climb for me. I can't be climbing at 400 for such a distance. That's not in my locker. You can see I've been dropped now. Look at the top graphic. I reckon 15 of the best B riders have gone off, just been destroyed on that hill. I can't do 400 watts for that distance. That's not my level, not yet. That's a 3.8 to 4 watts a kilo B rider race level. And respect. People are coming through here. You can see lots of B's, A's, and then the C's. God, I've been destroyed. Bear in mind I'm doing 270 average now, which is my FTP, for almost 15 minutes. You know, this is the top of my game. I'm not messing about here. I'm not relaxing. I need to get over this, get this big steep bit done. I'm pulling, catching up there, but that's absolutely knackered me. 272 average. I'm down to 12th. I'm trying to sit down and push, but I can't get the power through my legs. Stand up again, get to the 350. That group's dropped me. It's got 3 sea riders. 3 sea riders doing that pace. Fair play. Fair play. 5 sea riders now. Blimey. What bike is everybody else using? I'm getting destroyed here, and I'm on my FTP. And I've never even heard of the SAZ Speed Race before. Well, I'm 30th out of 79. I'm not going to be able to chase those down. Let's look at some of these riders. I need to check some of these out. Right, where's that Burkhardt? Let's have a look. So, right, let's get some facts right. W. Shin, the Japanese rider, just looking at his stats, racing score 642, age 27, pace group A. But he's put himself, or she's, yeah, it says male, he's put himself in category C. I mean, what's the point in that? You're nowhere near a category C rider, you're an A group rider. So, not sure why that's happened. What was the other thing? Brunel, the French rider. Let's have a look. Okay, I mean, Wise, he's a category B, 450 ZRS, pace group B, so don't know why he started in category C either. So a lot of these C riders are actually A or B. Let's have a look at another one. Kierkegaard, okay. Can't tell from his profile. Strange, I'm not sure why people have done that. Strange. Okay, the Burkhardt, the Dutch rider, 411 ZRS. Still high for a Group C rider, but it does say Group C, level 42, so that's probably fair. Okay, anyway, enough of that. I am where I am. Out of everybody, I'm 31st out of 79. I've got a little group here. There's 3 of us, 2 Belgian riders and the Dutch rider Burkhardt, as you can see. 264 average, 7 miles completed, 4.9 to the finish. On this strange descent here, then there'll be a little climb as we get to that crest on the graphic. Here we go, 3%. I'm trying to keep the pace up here because we don't want to be caught by, there's 2 riders. Let's have a look. There's 4 of us, or 5 of us in the group. Becker's, the Belgian, is just, he's just at the back of the group, that's alright. And then we've got a big gap to Brindley. And then the rest are out of sight. So a little group here forming. 1, 2, 3. 3 Belgians, a Dutch rider and myself. I don't know why people would have chosen category Group C though. We've all started together. It's just a single race. Why would you put yourself in a low pace group? Especially the A rider. I mean, you know, who are you kidding? Okay, 264 average here. staying in the draft but also just pulling along. So I want to keep that distance from, see the rider Becker's 4 seconds behind. So if I push on, I'll pull these 3 so that other rider can't catch up. Yeah, 5 seconds now. Then we'll ensure it's just the 4 of us. Don't want to attract anybody else into our bubble, and then it's 23 seconds and 30 behind that. I suspect they won't catch up with 4 miles to go. And we're going at a decent pace in this little group. 263 average, 15th gear. Just over 4 miles to go. We've done 460 feet. See, I'm getting a bit of my strength back now. Just pulling this little group along. With 10 seconds and 11 behind the 2 in front. They would be the ones to try and catch Donnelly and NVDA, Dutch rider. Let's have a look. I'm looking at the race results. There you go. Somebody else having a turn on the front. Yeah, Becker's won't catch us now. 6 seconds behind because the group's going pretty quickly. Yeah, NVDA Team DNF is a BCAT rider, 524 ZRS. So it will be tough to catch that rider. 13 seconds ahead, with only 3.5 miles to go. Let's look at P. Donnelly. Yeah, C group. Oh, well done, Donnelly. 597 race score. Over a level 100 in the cycling, so an absolute Zwift legend. Done 1.4 million feet of climb, burned 4,339 pieces of pizza. Absolute respect, Donnelly, and to be 12 seconds ahead of these, well, us 4 B riders now. You climbed, you're an absolute legend climbing that and keeping up with that front group at 59. Respect. If I'm doing that in 10 years, I'll be delighted. And I suspect I'll never get near the stats you've done on Zwift. That's fantastic. 1.4 million feet of climb over level 100. Fantastic. Well deserved. Anyway, let's try and rein them in. Donnelly in vid. How do you say it? I think he's Niels VDA. .255 average. So this is one of the strongest rides I've done. An average for probably about a month. 2.6 miles to go. I'm just pulling out there. Chasing Donnelly, and I don't know what that says in Flemish, but I'm sure somebody can tell me. I'm guessing he's got colleagues that are chasing from Belgium as well. I love Zwift, regardless whether I can understand that. I know he's if he's got colleagues, he's asking them to hurry up. 9 seconds and 8 seconds on Donnelly. So we're catching. You can see we're 15 seconds ahead of the Belgian rider Becker's. Nobody's going to catch us from here. 2.2 miles to go. It's pretty flat, slight bit of elevation. And we're going at a decent pace. I'm just sitting off the front now. 8 and 9 seconds. We can see the riders, the 2 riders ahead here. Bit of hydration. 443 calories done. 477 feet. We're almost going through the 10-mile mark. 1.9 to go. Shock to the system. Blimey, I wasn't ready for this. Christmas is great because you get the break, but I've got to say I was complacent today. I got the podium last time, and I've just not been at the races today. 30, what can I finish? Perhaps 32nd out 79 worst case, but that includes the C's and the D's, which I would be expecting to beat. But some really strong B riders, especially on that climb. Incredible. Because they had to start just as quickly as I did. That's shock to the system. But they were ready for that climb. Much more prepared than I was. I just couldn't keep up. All those crackers and cheese and Christmas pudding and turkey and beef. Blimey. It's no good for the professional athlete. I'm only joking. 1.5 miles to go, 10.4 miles complete. I start putting it in here. I want to chase. Donnelly's still 12 seconds ahead. He's pulled ahead of the Belgian rider. Fair play. I've got the Belgian rider just up in front. Donnelly's having an absolute worldie. He's going to finish in 28th, 27th. I'm not pulling 11 seconds back. Not when he's still going over 3.4 watts a kilo. Still putting it in. 4 watts a kilo, Donnelly. I mean, absolutely putting it in. Never going to rein that back. So I've gone out ahead here to chase the Belgian rider down. We're down to 5 seconds now. I'm 3 seconds ahead of the other 3. But I'm having to do this work on my own. No one's coming with me at this stage. There's a little climb here. I'm going to put it in here. 1 mile to go. If I stand up on this and just put it in, 350 watts I suspect. Here we go. What gear? 15th. 11 miles completed. Here we go. Try and rein him in. Here we go. I'm doing 5.6, doing 3.4, sat down, no doubt. Over 420 watts. Come on, get over the crest. Average going up to 257. Reined him in here. But I've absolutely pushed it there. 0.8 of a mile. The others are coming in now. Only 2 seconds behind, but they're putting 4 watts a kilo in. So I'm going to have a break and draft on here. The problem is the others behind have accelerated to catch up. So what have we got? There's 5 of us. Donnelly going through. Here they come. And there's a B rider that's 4 seconds behind Marseille that's cruising in. I've just gone off there to try and distance myself. I've used the drafting boost. I don't know why I've used that now. That's an accident. 0.4 of a mile to go. Donnelly 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Can't catch him. 0.3 here. Touch rider right on my tail there. Berghardt there. 3 have gone. Marcy's just behind me. Verdonk. Yeah, just draft for a second. 800 feet. They've gone off. I'm just a bit slow on the catch-up. Slipped into 16th gear. Verdonk isn't coming with us, so he's been dropped. I'm absolutely going for it. Giving it everything I can't catch. There we go. 257 average. Finished 31st at 79. 20 in the B category. Back down to earth. If you liked, enjoyed it, like and subscribe. I'll see you later in the week. Thank you.